Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of the Nobody Important podcast. I am Ramon.
I am Felipe.
And we're Nobody Important, and it's been a little bit of a hiatus for us. We took about 3 weeks off to deal with some of the craziness that are in the world, but we are back. So thank you for sticking around and listening, and as always, please give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms, everything from Anchor, PocketCasts, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at the Nobody Important Podcast, where you can get a sneak preview every week to what our featured drink of the episode is. So, anything you want to add?
And also, if you look at our stories and things like that, we'll try to kind of keep up and post our shenanigans that we may experience. I was trying to figure out a way to download the stories I've posted about us through the years, kind of like the shenanigans we're up to, like the time you got to test drive the Tesla and you took off. Like, I have that, and I want to upload it on the Nobody Important Instagram, but I haven't gone that far yet.
That was such a fun car. I'm not gonna lie, it really was fun. We'll talk about that in a second. But this week, our featured drink of the week is the Kentucky Derby Classic, a mint julep. And everyone has a slight different recipe for how they do yours. Did you follow the recipe that I have here, or did you change it up?
I did not make a mint julep, and I will explain why shortly. Go with yours.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Fancy over here. So, for me, the recipe that I use for mint julep is basically the tried and true. It is half an ounce of simple syrup, anywhere from about 6 to 8 leaves of mint, and then 2 ounces of bourbon. That's it. That's all that goes in a mint julep. That and a ton of crushed ice. And basically all you got to do is you want to muddle the mint and the syrup just very lightly in the bottom of the julep cup. You then add the bourbon and you pack it tightly with just a ton of crushed ice. Stir it up until your cup is all frosty, and ideally you want a stainless steel cup or a pewter cup or some sort of metal cup, so that way you can see it all get frosty. And top it with more crushed ice, and then put a little mint in the top for garnish. So mine's all fancy, and I got real bougie with it.
Oh, did you put a garnish on?
I did put a garnish on.
Oh, shit, finally.
So here's the thing about garnish on a mint julep, though, is that it's there not only for look, but it's there because you want to put it near the straw. Mm-hmm. And the reason you put it near the straw is so that way you smell the mint every single time you go take a drink.
Mm-hmm. It just enhances the mint taste on what you're drinking. So, yeah, that's a good choice.
It is amazing. And the thing about mint julep is one of those cocktails similar to like an old fashioned where you want to use a good quality bourbon. You don't want to use just like a cheap one that you would normally mix with, because you're not really putting anything other than the bourbon itself. Mm-hmm. So I actually used Angel's Envy this week.
Ooh, very nice. I'm still waiting for my second bottle of that. I told you this earlier. It's been about 6 weeks, so it's time for me to do it again. It's my dry week.
Okay.
So I am not drinking alcohol this week. I forgot about it because I drank yesterday. So, I won't drink it till next Monday.
Yesterday was a holiday, so you got a reason.
Oh yeah, Mother's Day. Woo! I made a temperance grapefruit Collins, which when I explained this to you a few weeks ago, you mentioned, it's just a Paloma without tequila. And you are right. It is just a Paloma without tequila, but it is very, very refreshing. It's 2 ounces of grapefruit juice, an ounce of lime juice, about half an ounce of simple syrup. You shake it, and then you pour it and serve with a bunch of ice. Honestly, it's pretty good on its own. You want to call it a virgin Paloma? I'm still gonna call it the Temperance Grapefruit Collins.
You bougie bastard.
Mm-mm.
It's like the equivalent of calling like a Cuba Libre is literally a rum and coke
with lime. No, rum and coke with lime.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's like you want to get all fancy, you call it the Cuba Libre. And Go figure. It's just us getting all fancy. However, one thing that I just remembered, and I was just thinking about when you mentioned grapefruit. So, fresh squeezed grapefruit, or you do use like a grapefruit juice that you bought?
I have grapefruits that I bought specifically for this purpose.
Nice.
Other than that, I wouldn't buy grapefruits.
Fair enough. So, fun history, fun story about grapefruits. It is my wife's favorite fruit. She
No mames.
absolutely loves them. And we got into the discussion the other day because I'm like, man, I really want to have a Paloma.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, go get the squirt. I'm like,
No.
wait. I'm like,
No.
say it again. I'm like, wait, get a Paloma with squirt? She's like, yeah, that's the freaking ghetto Mexican way, is just you do a squirt with tequila and you're good. It's a carbonated Paloma.
Dude, down the YouTube rabbit hole, I came across this channel or a bar in Mexico that serves a giant clay mug that
What?
I'm not sure what exactly the cocktail is called, but it's like it starts with a guy like squeezing a bunch of grapefruits and then a bunch of limes, and then he dumps a bunch of squirts in there too, and then a whole fifth of tequila.
Oh, goddamn.
And it's a single serving, so it's only for one person.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure how many
I'm
people
like,
can drink it. But
someone
dude,
would
it
die.
is so entertaining to see it get made, because you know those people out in the world that are really good at their jobs, right? Like you see like people chopping vegetables really quickly, or like those people who fuck around with the ice cream. And our show, and there's just people out there who have these incredible skills because of their jobs that we would never be able to replicate. And it's kind of like that, just to see how quickly they fruit all the limes and the grapefruits, and they figure out a way to get the soda out of the bottles and the tequila out of the bottle really, really quickly. I gotta send you a video. It's kind of hypnotizing, and also I'm like, my God, that just seems like a bad idea. But they have like behind them like giant clay mugs of, well, I guess they're jarritos, right? That's what they're called. They're jarras.
I mean,
It is quite entertaining, honestly. But yeah, what I can't believe she said get a squirt for a Paloma.
So here's the thing. Her family, for her entire life, and they still do, her family owns a bar. Like, they own, just a regular Mexican bar that has done that. And so whenever someone wants a Paloma, that's what they serve them. And I'm like, and the thing is, like, I'm not surprised by it, because I feel like I've gone to places and asked for a Paloma, and I've seen them do that. Like, it's a common thing that I never would have thought about, because I'm getting to that stage with cocktails where I'm like, no, I want all fresh ingredients. I want this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got the mint from my own mint plant that I have growing here. And so because I see all the fresh ingredients, like, it's a shock to me that someone would use something that's not like a fresh squeezed ingredient.
You know who uses not squirt, but grapefruit jarritos? It's Cien Agaves. Remember when we went? That is what I ordered, and I really like their Paloma. Because I'm like,
interesting.
But that was back when we didn't know anything about cocktails, right? So to me, that was
but
delicious.
I'd be curious to try it now, though.
It was really good. I'm not sure what else they did to it, but it tasted very, very refreshing. I'm not sure about going back there. I mean, that's all you, buddy. You know I will never set foot in that place ever again. Because, not even going to go there.
The rant episode part 7.
But yeah, it was refreshing. I can see why her family's bar would do that. I don't imagine they sell many Palomas.
Exactly.
So why would you have a bunch of grapefruits? Just do a squirt. Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting around just for nothing. Instead, squirt tequila. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it easy. You get the grapefruit flavor and off
carbonated.
You go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works. And so I'm like, it does kind of knock all the things. You don't even need to add like simple. You don't need to do any of that, because it's got all the sugar from the soda. It's got everything all in it already. So,
oh yeah. Huh.
Right? It's literally just pour, done. And you can't even
like,
shake it because it's carbonated. So.
Like, and you serve it with like a wedge of lime, a lime wedge, and there you go. There's your lime. You have them squeeze it, and then they kind of mix it into it. That's how you make it fancy and save on the garnish.
So it is a whole bunch of craziness, and yeah, I learn new things all the time. Like me, I'm learning like the quote unquote proper ways to make like different cocktails and things like that. And then my
Mm-hmm.
wife, between her family owning a bar and then her working in a restaurant for, I want to say something like 7 or 8 years, um, she learned all the quick ways to make all of these things. So I'm like blending the two with everything that I make now. And I'm like, oh, this actually works out pretty cool.
That's awesome. I forgot she worked at a restaurant. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. I remember years and years and years ago, the actual first time that you met her was at her restaurant.
mm-hmm. I did not forget.
That was
That
funny.
was hella awkward. If
Yeah,
I
just a
remember
little
correctly.
but it was fun. Good times.
Yeah.
Good memories,
Man,
good times.
we were so young.
I know. I feel old now thinking back on that, man. It's like, and I'm not even that old. Like we're both gonna be 30 in the next few months.
Don't
but
put
it's
that
like,
voodoo on me. Don't put that
there's no
voodoo on
voodoo.
me.
It's literally a number with a set date. It's going to happen. There is no voodoo.
I will stay 29 for a few years. You're good, dude. You're married. You got a bunch of stuff. Like, you can be 30. I cannot.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That I'll let you have the peacefulness of being 29 for another year or two. Bob's suddenly just gonna bring that in anywhere. Anytime you bring like a new girl or something like that around,
Oh, shit.
you're like, so, how old did he say he is?
Hey, I hung out with someone last week, and she thought I was 26. So I will take it. Damn straight, I will take it. Any single day of the week, I will take that.
Did you just shave or something, and that's what happened?
No, and it's me looking my worst with long ass hair and my beard not being trimmed. It's just like they assumed I was 26. I don't know why. Like,
That's freaking funny. Were they older than you? Is that why?
no, one was 24 and one was my age.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if we just I don't feel like I look any older. I don't feel like you look any older. But it's because we see each other so much, right? I feel like if we wouldn't see each other for many months, and then we see each other like, damn, this motherfucker got old.
Right?
I don't know. I don't think we look our age, and we certainly don't act our age. Like,
Yeah,
compared to
that's
everyone
true.
else we know
It's-
our age.
What was the joke growing up in like elementary school, middle school? Act your age, not your shoe size. We're like the opposite now.
I've never heard that before. That kind of got
never
me off
heard
guard. No.
You never heard that one?
Uh-uh.
Damn, I guess I went to a wider school than I thought I did.
Probably should. Act your age, not your shoe size. Huh. I don't think, well,
I mean,
No.
this works. Keep in mind that that was a phrase when you're in like elementary school, middle school, and like you're 10 years old and you wear like a size 4 or size 5 shoe. And so like it stings then. Now it's like, with us, I mean, shit, that's an insult to both of us still, because it's like, teens and preteens as far as shoe size in that specific aspect. But
thank
I digress.
God. Thank God. Could you imagine having shoe size like fucking Shaq, size 22?
Yeah,
Fuck.
that would suck. Custom like shoe, everything custom.
I have
all
a
the
hard time finding shoes my size as it is.
Yeah,
God.
that's true. Damn.
Anyways,
Yeah,
we should we should get off this tangent and go back to the normal flow of the podcast. So, Ramon has a mint julep. I have a temperance grapefruit Collins. They're both good drinks. I'll post my picture later.
Virgin Paloma, jackass.
Whatever. We're not gonna agree on this one. Oh, you know what though? I made this yesterday for my
Ooh.
mom, and she suggested adding mint to it, and I regret not getting mint because I was in a hurry to get back to my computer so we can record this. Dude, the mint really changes it up. Like, no
Really?
joke, it really makes it better.
I'll have to try that.
And then
I will
well,
definitely have to try that.
we're gonna have to experiment a little bit with this one, as I think some rum would be good with this instead of tequila. Anyways, let's move forward. I'm looking forward to the honor report this week. Up to you, who goes first.
It is, our honor report this week is going to be a little bit of an interesting one. I'm going to let you start with your first honor because mine has a little bit of a story, and
Okay.
so I will let you start.
My honor this week goes to a young man who I want to get his name because he is Hispanic and he deserves credit because of it. Damn straight, I'm
What'd
going to
he
be. He returned $135,000 that he found
Dumbass!
by an ATM. Yes.
Dumbass.
Well, we're not here to judge on those actions because, I mean, I don't know how I would act if that would happen to me, right? Like, clearly, it'd be a tough decision. Turns out...
This is your honor?
Oh, yeah. Here's why. So he just threw me off. He is your honor. He found the money. Apparently, the guy, private contractor who's supposed to refill the ATMs, done fucked up and misplaced $135,000. The kid was by the ATM, saw it, and reported it. He says the reason why is, well, first of all, he's studying criminal justice, and then the end of the story is that the officer's like, hey, if you apply to be a cop, you'll have a recommendation waiting for you. So that's cool. But the reason he said is, the problem is if I went home with the money, my mom would have hit me with a chancla. For those English speakers, that is a sandal. And I truly believe it. So I was like, hey, you know what? Most kids, and honestly most minority kids, would have kept the money because, stereotypes sometimes are stereotypes for a reason. And these kids are in trouble and shit like that. So it was cool just to see that, a kid who probably his family needs the money made the right choice and turned in the money to the police. Judge him as you will.
I hope he got some sort of reward or something for that, because, I don't care what, ethnicity, anything like that you are. $135,000, $135,000.
He did get a reward. He was presented with a $500 check, a gift card from a local restaurant, season tickets to the University of New Mexico Lobos football games, and a signed football from former Chicago Bear linebacker Brian Urlacher. It's not $135,000.
Yeah, no, that's not even remotely close. That's maybe $1,000 worth, considering everything. That's.
I don't know how much season tickets are for football games.
Well, where is it?
It's University of New Mexico.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to that.
Hey, the Lobos.
I actually do know someone that went there. That's the reason I say that. But
wow.
All right, so I'll give you that one. So I don't know that I would have used that one as my honor, but I would have said that would have been my questionable report for turning in $135,000. But maybe it's being tracked somehow, some way. I don't know.
Okay, go with yours, bastard.
All right, so mine is a bit more comedic relief. For the last month and a half, almost 2 months now, I have been in just regular Zoom meetings for work. I think everyone has. Literally Zoom just took over the freaking world as far as video conferencing, because it's free, it's easy to use, it's easy to set up. But the biggest feature that people like using on it are the custom backgrounds, where you can actually just make literally you can just put almost whatever you want behind you. You can just do a still picture, you can use preset ones. But this one guy that has a YouTube channel, I think he has a YouTube channel, or maybe he's just posting them on Reddit, but he has made several different versions of a video Zoom background where he is actually walking into the frame, while he's sitting in front of the camera during his meeting. He has a recording of himself wearing the exact same things that he's wearing during the meeting, and then either walking in and surprising himself, or the most recent one was he opened the door for the office. He set down a cup of tea or coffee next to himself, essentially, and then walked back out of the room, and then the frame ended, and then the guy actually reached down to where he set that coffee in the video, picked it up, and started drinking it.
I saw this on the front page it's hilarious. The way Ramon described it does not speak to how cool it looks.
Oh,
because
yeah.
It legit looks
stories.
like someone is. He did it perfectly, because he even moved to the side when he was coming, and picked up the. Oh, it was perfect. It is hilarious to see. That is very, very ingenious. So that's a good guy. I like yours because it's he's making fun of a weird situation we're all in right now.
The first one I saw of something like this, I don't know if it was the same guy, but it was at least a similar concept. The very first one I saw was about a month ago. And this guy was sitting, just same kind of thing, on camera, just right in the front. And in the background, as the virtual background, he has a video of himself opening the door, wearing the same clothes that he's wearing in the meeting, being like, oh shit, like on the camera, like shocked, like, my bad, you're on a video call, and then slamming the door and walking out.
I haven't seen that one.
That one, I lost it when I saw that, because I was like, that was fucking clever. Like, that was the first one that I had seen for something like that. And I got one of my coworkers, I sent it to him because he's always messing with the different virtual backgrounds and everyone's always commenting on him. So I sent him the link for that one day, and I'm like, dude, do this.
Have you seen all these other random videos? Like, my wife has to work from home, or my significant other has to work from home. I don't, and it's just them dancing in the background while they're in the call.
Oh yeah, with the song from like that two-legged horse running.
Yeah. Oh god,
Yes.
That stupid horse video.
My wife has been addicted. I don't want to say addicted, but she loves just going through like TikTok at the end of the night and viewing just like a bunch of just like the most popular recommendations, random ones. And so she's been showing me all of those that end up that people are recording or that people are posting, and it's just freaking hilarious because she's like, babe, I'm gonna do this to you while you're on a meeting.
You know what? Now I kind of want to make your ringtone that horse.
I know, right?
Just to have a situation like, hey, Ramon, could you call me real quick? I can't find my phone. Just to see her reaction of it.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Messing with your wife.
And then I would expect her to, like, in the middle of that, she would just have to, like, jump up and start, like, doing the dance that goes with it. Just start dancing like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, God. God. No. That's funny.
Yeah, so that was my honor. And, you know, shout out to that guy for just adding some creativity to the monotony that is all those meetings. Because I think at one point, I was probably on I was on meetings almost every single day, like those video calls just on Zoom. And I actually got away with never turning my camera on. Like, everyone else had their cameras on, and I just said, yep, fuck that. And I just never turned mine on. I got called out on it a few times, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not turning it on.
My hair's a mess. Dude, it reminded me, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and a guy was saying that one of the employees made... I guess his camera angle, their background. And then he's like, you know what? Send me that background. So he set up that background, and then he just walked away. For like half an hour, no one realized he wasn't there. And it's just like, until finally someone called him out, it's like, are you there? And it's like, I think his camera's frozen. He hasn't moved in a bit. I was like, oh, that's ingenious. That'd be hilarious to try to do. Too bad I don't have the energy or creativity to try to do that. But
I know. I seriously thought about it for the longest time. I'm like, I kind of want to set this up to actually do it and, you know, actually really test like one of those virtual backgrounds. But I had two issues with that. One, the laptop that they provided me for work was like 3 years old and not powerful enough to support a really good virtual background.
Oh.
And two, I never turned my camera on anyway, so I didn't feel like turning it on just to do that.
I'm kind of with you. I don't turn it on immediately. I want to see who else has their camera on. And like, oh, okay, it's the majority. I'll turn mine on.
Yeah, I don't even do that. I straight up just don't even do like. They would send messages in like our, you know, chat or whatever that we had, and they're like, yeah, everyone, please turn your cameras on, and I'll just pretend like I didn't see them. I'm like, hey, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I would like turn it on, throw my AirPods in my ear just because I had a MacBook, and so I would just Bluetooth into that, and I would just like walk to the other side of the house. So I would be kind of still listening, but I'd probably be like making lunch or something like that while the meeting's going on.
Smart.
I am horrible when it came to like video calls and like meetings and all of that, because I'm just like, there's literally no reason for me to be on these, like, at all, for most of them.
Lucky. Oh, that was what I do have one meeting a week that I'm like that. It's like, what's the point of this? I don't need to be on this. So I feel you there.
Okay.
All right. Report time.
All right.
My report is against the media.
Uh-oh.
And it has to do with these damn murder hornets that came out and were just blown greatly out of proportion of
Okay.
like how they're gonna kill all the bees and the Americanized bees can't defend themselves against it. I watched a video on YouTube from you've probably seen him. It's that one guy who gets stung by everything in nature.
Yeah, I saw that.
Coyote
Dumbass.
something. Yeah,
Dumbass.
I mean, have you seen them views? Anyways, that's an argument for a different day.
But yeah.
He actually has been stung by one of those. Clearly, he's alive because he made an update video of like, hey, these are what we're hearing, and I just want to set my audience straight on this. And he kind of laid it out. It's like, first of all, they only found one. The one they found was dead. These insects can't make it across the Pacific Ocean. There is just no way they would die of exhaustion trying to do it and, crash into the ocean. There was things like it probably got here through a freaking shipping crate. There is no way for. Can it happen? Yeah, it is like a 0.5% chance that they actually thrive in the United States and able to do things enough to destroy, all this nature. So my report is against the media for blowing the shit out of proportion, trying to scare people, as they do. I can't be too badly shocked, but once you finally see like an expert in the field talking about them, it's like, oh, okay, cool. There's really nothing to worry about. I can just go about my day because I'm not going to come across a 2-inch hornet flying around Phoenix, Arizona.
Right.
Oh, also, they die at 115 degrees. So,
Summer here will be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. But like everyone else is dying, staying inside. These things are dying outside. But that's the same guy. He did get stung by one though, right?
Yeah.
Like he did a video where he got stung by one. He was like screaming because it hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, his arm was swollen up for like 36 hours, and it was a whole thing. It's quite interesting, honestly. Except it's kind of stupid to be stung by these things. He did say it was the second most painful sting he ever experienced. So there's something out there.
Did he say what number one was?
He did. I don't recall.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that is terrifying. But as far as your thing on the media, like, I've been around enough people. There's an old phrase within people that are in media that if it bleeds, it leads.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's literally what it is. Basically, all the top stories are just the things that are like gruesome and violent and the things that are just going to bring the most shock and awe. Like, those are going to be what's leading more than literally anything else.
Oh, of course. And an insect that is a lot bigger than anything else we're normally used to experiencing, of course that's going to lead.
Where are those things from again? Japan?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was going to be fucking Australia because literally everything comes from Australia.
Not wrong. No, it's just, I think they really are called, like, honestly, I forgot. I'm just going to shut up now.
Fair enough. So my report this week is it's a mini rant because I'm just, the more I go out, the more that I do things like the more that the world is starting to open up. I shouldn't say the more that I go out because I don't go out. Like I'm actually, all of my shopping is done through an app at the grocery store. They bring it out to my car. On rare occasions, I'll actually like go out and get something. But the amount of fucking people that I see on a regular basis whenever I do have to go out and get something, whether it's to, pick up something really, really quick or get gas or just something that for whatever reason I was forced to go out. The amount of people that aren't taking any of this shit seriously pisses me off. Like I was at Fry's grocery store the other day, and I'm standing in line because there were a couple things that I needed on our grocery list that they weren't able to do through like the online orders. And so I ended up having to go inside and did all that. They have very clearly marked spaces that are 6 feet apart for people to stand apart to maintain proper, distancing, maintain proper space between every other person that's waiting there to shop. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker was literally like right behind me. Like I it was that feeling that when you're standing there looking forward, you feel someone behind you. That's how close they were.
Shivers just run down my spine just imagining that awkward situation.
Yeah, and like you know me, I am probably one of the biggest germaphobes that anyone here will ever meet. But I am very weird about like my space, personal contact, like all of that. Those things, my skin crawls when someone gets too close to me, and so I immediately feel this person just right behind me, and it's that old saying of like if looks could kill, because I definitely looked back and just looked at this guy. Granted, I had my mask on, so he couldn't see what I was like my mouth or anything, but like he just saw in my eyes that I wanted to just like strangle him. So he backed up. I was so pissed though. And so like I went to go do that, and then the other day, my wife and I, we wanted pizza, and it was the same kind of thing. I was right by the Fry's. There's a Little Caesars that's right there in the parking lot. Cheap, $5 for a large pizza. Call it good, and you're out the door, right? So I went to go pick up the pizza. They have a sign in their door that says, you know, due to the current climate, whatever, yada yada yada.
Yeah, we have store orders.
We are limiting occupancy in our store to 5 people at a time. I'm like, okay, cool. So they have all glass front windows, so you can see exactly who's inside, right? So I'm gonna lay this picture out for you here. I look inside. In the far right corner, so the door is on the left side, by the entrance is on the left side. In the far right corner inside, there's a family of 4. And then in the middle, on the back wall, there's a couple. So that's 2 more. So you're now at 6. There's 1 person at the register. There is 1 person in the front left corner waiting for their food. There is 1 person in the back left corner waiting for their food. And then there's this old fat fuck standing in the doorway. Like the door is closed, but standing in the doorway with his arms along the frames of the door. Like his arms like up in the air, like along the frames of the door, like leaning.
God damn it.
Fuck that location for one, allowing 9 people in that space when they say 5, but also fuck that guy for literally blocking the door for people to get in and out. I watched someone walk in just before me to go pick up their food. They opened the door. The guy took like a half step to the side to get out of the guy's way. Not even like a full step, not even moving completely out of the way. He took like a half step to the side. So to get through, the guy had to like turn sideways.
I am so glad we're not doing a video portion of this, because my face is just like, the fuck is wrong with that man?
I wanted to strangle him.
Move,
like,
bitch. Oh, and I'm gone to my jokey side where I'm like, you should have looked up, move, bitch, get out the way, and just play it.
I was so angry that I just like I could not even think straight. I like swung the door open. The guy just like freaked out because I swung the door open so hard, so like he moved out of the way. And then same kind of thing, like when I was leaving, I just like forced my way through and just like walked right out. But it was just, oh my God, I was so angry because like my food was ready. Anytime I have to go someplace like that, I order ahead of time. So like they have an app, I order it ahead of time. They have their little stack that tells you when it's done and when it's ready. So you punch in a little code, the little machine, the little doors for it open up, you take your food, you leave. That's it. I was in there for less than 20 seconds. But all these other people are standing in there waiting either to order or waiting for their food. I'm like, how about not? How about you get the fuck out? I realize it's 110 degrees outside or it's 100 degrees outside, but still get the hell out if you're just going to be in this space with not a single person in there wearing a mask.
Here's the other thing. The first people you pointed out was a family of 4. Why do 4 people need to go to pick up a bloody pizza.
Legit, have one person go inside, have the other three stay in the car with the car turned on with the AC on. That's it.
Seriously,
that's what you gotta
it's kind of the same things that our friend Mix is complaining about working where he works. It's like a whole family walks in to pick up non-essential items. And it's like, why? Why do people tend to plan a family trip around home improvement stores? And I've seen it too when I used to go, like during regular times, and you see Home Depot and you see a family of 6 walking into Home Depot, and I'm like, why do you need to bring the whole fucking family to Home Depot?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't get it. It is the most ridiculous shit on, like, it's unbelievably frustrating. And then same thing when I went to the grocery store. The other night I had to go to, it was that same night I had to go to the Fry's right there to pick up some things while I was waiting for the pizza. It was packed. I'm like, why the hell is this place packed? Like, it makes no sense why there's so many people still going out, still doing all of these things. Like, I don't remember these places being this busy before this lockdown, and now you're telling me everyone is just going out and we're just gonna go have a party. It was mind-blowing to me to actually see that. I came home the other night so angry because my wife stayed home. Like, you know, she was responsible. She stayed home. And so when I came back, I'm just like ranting. I'm telling her this story of like all of these people in the Little Caesars and the Fry's, and I'm telling her the story, and I'm just like ranting. I'm cussing, like I'm talking super fast. I'm getting like really escalated. She's like, "Yeah, you need to make a drink tonight."
At least she knows you well.
Yeah, no, right?
But yeah, dude, I'm with you. I see it everywhere. No matter where I go, it's just these people not taking it seriously. Whether it's the people protesting on the multiple downtowns across the country, raiding the freaking governor's city halls, whatever you want to call them. I'm not sure where the governor works. And it's just like, I don't know. It seems like I'm going to listen to science on this one. We still have a lot of things. And the craziest thing about this is that you can be asymptomatic, right?
Yep.
Like, how do you defend yourself against something you may not know you have? What the fuck?
One of my favorite things that I saw, it was a meme basically talking about, like, for people that don't understand why you need to wear a mask right now, we're going to use the pee defense.
Oh, I saw that. You posted it on somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think I sent it to you or whatever. But it was like, yeah, we're going to use the pee defense. And here's how this works. If neither one of you wears a mask, one person pees, it gets all over you. No protection at all. Now, we assume you wear a mask. The other person does not. The other person still pees on you. You have some protection from like your pants, your legs, whatever, like absorbing that, but it still largely gets through. And then you have the third option. You're both wearing pants. So now if that person has to pee, it gets all over them and doesn't get on you at all.
Yep.
Same fucking concept for a mask. Masks do not work unless everybody is wearing them. If one person wears it, it's helpful, but it's not foolproof. Dumbasses. I think that's my word this week.
You went Red Foreman on everyone. Dumbass.
Yeah, I really did. Yeah, that's definitely been my go-to this week. It's been an eventful week, man. You know, it's with the combination of everything that's going on. You know, I kind of have kept everything vague with this podcast as far as what I do for a living, but I've historically had 2 jobs. You know, I had one that I work kind of traditional, one is like my own business that I run. And actually, so today's Monday, as of Saturday, I was actually laid off from my traditional job. So yay for all the great stuff for this week and all the highlights. And, you know, it's a result of the virus and the current state of the world. And so, like, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's allowing me to focus now on my business, which I've been splitting my time in doing that. So if anything, the silver lining in all of this is that I actually get to focus 100% of my time now on my business, which so far, just in a couple days, I've actually seen some improvement, some progress, which I'm actually pretty happy
Hey,
for.
that's awesome. Cool, man. I'm glad you got some progress on that. Because I know you were scared, like the factors of what's going on in the world might slow down your business, but that's good to hear.
Yeah, so a little bit at a time, we'll kind of see how things go, but I'm gracious enough that the company that I did leave or that did lay me off is they actually did a proper layoff, so I am collecting a severance as well. I'm able to get unemployment for at least a little bit to kind of help out with that. So it's something which is better than nothing, but that's also kind of alleviating some of that stress where I do have a little bit coming in while also, running this business and trying to get this going.
Well, it's a plan, right? It's something. It's something to get you going and kind of keep you floating while you kind of get this all going and going forward. So should be
Exactly.
good. Which that's kind of what it's supposed to be, I guess.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you are over here wanting a new car. And
Oh yeah. Well,
you're in the middle of like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to stay at my job and I want a new car.
we had that discussion, right? Or it's like you said, well, if you're gonna get a new car, then you have to stay at your job, and I was like, fuck, he's right. Because I mean, I've been with my company for 4 years, and the burnout's starting to get to me. And it's like I don't know how much longer I want to do this, but if I want the new car, especially the cars we've been looking at, like I don't know how I have to keep the job because it pays pretty freaking well, and if I wanted to drive this car, I have to keep it. So that's where
Yeah.
I'm at. Yeah, and we've been looking at cars. Freaking Mix has been looking at cars. My dad's been looking at cars. It's like everyone except me has been looking at cars. If I'm being honest, it's like everyone else is pushing me towards it. It's pretty
Everyone's like
funny.
pushing for you to find something and like just basically wanting to spend your money for you. Well, that's the
Bastards.
reason why everyone's doing it is because it's exciting to spend someone else's money for them. Like I wouldn't be doing it to spend my own money. Like I wouldn't be going out and be like, "Oh man, I want a new car," and going to look for something. But someone
Especially now.
else, right? But someone else comes up and says, "Hey, I need help looking for a car." Hell yeah, I'll spend your money for you. Let's go.
And
So,
the reason I'm coming to you is because you have a lot of experience buying cars. Like, how many cars have you bought in the last 15 years? 10 years?
I did this math one time, and
Oh,
I
shit.
I forget exactly where it was. I think in the last, I want to say 8 years. Let's go 9 years. In the last 9 years, I think I've owned like 8 or 9 cars.
Jesus. I've owned
And it's
two.
not, and here's the thing: it's not even like one per year. It's granted, I will be honest. There are a few where it was literally like 1 year, but
If that, I think you own the S2K for like 9 months.
5 months.
Damn!
Yeah, I owned that car for 5 months and I put 10,000 miles on it. Uh, I got my use out of it, and then I sold it for $4,000 more than I paid for it. Thank you very much. But yeah, so like all of those cars, I've like you said, I've got experience helping, purchasing multiple cars, helping people find cars. Like my old boss, I helped him find his car and everything as well too. So like I know that, like that experience and kind of what that looks like, and I know kind of how to navigate a lot of those conversations and a lot of those interactions and what to look for. So I do enjoy helping you look, even though you're not taking my recommendation on what to buy. But
So I mean, when you're spending my own money, I have a hard time spending my own money. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I know I have to take it seriously. There's a lot of clearly you and everyone has pointed all these crazy deals are going on because they're having such a hard time selling cars right now. And it's just like, man, going to a dealer and then driving it and then like, all right, then we have to sit there for fucking hours while
so
everything's getting figured out.
you'd be surprised. There's actually more and more places just because of everything that's going on right now that are doing everything online and even delivery. Like the car that you sent me today, that dealer is doing everything online and they'll actually bring the car out to you either at work or at home, and you can test drive it just solo by yourself. And then all of like the paperwork, financing, like all of that stuff is all done online. It's all done via email, via just like e-sign, all of that. Like it's not even like sitting there in person. So I mean, you can literally just go back and forth almost at your leisure, while you're working or while you're at home or whatever. Like you send them an email, say, hey, here's this document. They go review it, email you back. And so you're actually able to be at home doing stuff while you're like pseudo negotiating.
Okay, well, there's something there, I guess. Just kind of have to stop being lazy about it.
Find something that you actually truly want.
That's the thing. Like, I keep finding all these cars like, oh, that'd be cool. Oh, that would be cool. That'd be cool. And it's kind of like making my mind up type of thing. And I don't know, it's just like I can't fall in love with a car. I'm not into cars like you guys are. Where it's like it means something. And you know how much I hate the term daily driver. Just I heard it earlier today and it pissed me off for no apparent reason other than it's just a pet peeve. I don't know. We'll get it. Like I feel like I have to get a new car. I have my car like for a few years. I'm not in love with it. It's just kind of getting me by until I could like, hey, this is my car now. This is the one I love. And that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I can't find it. It's like with you, like you love your import. You love everything you kind of get into. You like this is awesome, and you love it, and you speak like you love your car, and I can't find that. So.
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, here's the thing with people that are car nuts. They find any reason to just be all in on whatever it is that they own and whatever it is that they drive because they're a car nut. And so they want to justify their purchase. They want to be able to tell people like, yeah, I bought this because of this, and this. And if you don't like it, too bad, because here's the reasons why I bought it. Fuck off. Whereas people that, I don't necessarily want to use the phrase like you, but people that view a car as essentially like a utility, getting someplace, point A to point B. It's like, well, it does all the things I need and it's comfortable and that's about it. And that's all you really care about. And so, you know what, and that's a perfectly valid reason. It's not like you have to justify it to someone that's a fanatic about cars that would say, oh, you bought, this car, it's underpowered, it's weak, it's that. And I'm like, yeah, but what do you need that performance for? That's not your interest.
Bitch, what you talking about? Because you guys do that all the fucking time. You're like, well, if you're going to get the Charger, you got to get this one because it'll, like, you need the power and then, like,
well, yeah, I'm saying that because I'm saying that solely because of resale on that one. Like legit, if you're gonna get like a American like muscle car, you have to get a big V8. Otherwise, every other one is just gonna be like the cop out for resale value, and it's gonna tank like a rock. At least the higher end model will retain its value a bit better. Won't necessarily be like, oh my god, this is totally like night and day. But it will be worth more long term just because it is that true like model.
It just made me think of something with the car I sent you today. Well, we have to have that discussion after because it's just it's gonna bring up a lot of things we shouldn't discuss right now. Anyways, let's
Felipe
move
wants
on
a
from
big
car
back
talk.
seat to get some nasty in his car. No.
Oh, fuck. Anyways, here, I want to touch base on two interesting stories this week. One is a fun one. Well, it's fun for us because we're not experiencing this. Is the safety for the Baltimore Ravens, Earl Thomas, getting caught cheating by his wife while running a train on a girl with his brother. So they were both caught.
Wait.
Earl Thomas was running a train on a girl with his wife. Brother. Yes. He was caught with his wife, I guess having sex with the girl, and I guess it was like a threesome, or it was definitely anywhere from 3 to 4 people. I mean, brotherly love, right?
That takes a whole new definition for that word.
Yes.
For that phrase.
apparently he was held at gunpoint by his wife because of his infidelities.
So that means it's not the first time that she was carried a gun ready to catch him.
I have no fucking clue, bro. But it's just like, man, that's just with everything going on in the world. That is a weird ass fucking story.
God damn. Did that just happen? I didn't see that one.
Last week or so.
Damn.
Yeah, I wish I had more information. I didn't have that one up. But God, when I saw that headlines like Earl Thomas held at gunpoint by his wife, I'm like, what did he do? And then more details started coming out, and it's like, yo, Earl Thomas a freak.
Apparently, goddamn.
But yeah, that's just that's just fucking hilarious. Oh god damn it, these football players! I feel like we talk about them quite a bit of the shenanigans they tend to get into.
Head injuries, man.
You're not
All
wrong.
the head injuries.
Apparently, huh? Now you got me thinking about that. That is interesting. Oh,
all right. What's this other story?
So you made me think of NFL and Zoom and how they did the draft. Anyways, the other one is a crazy ass story. Apparently, there was a kidnapping in North Carolina, and there was an officer who had a mob with him. Not a group of officers, a mob, and they went into someone's home and almost killed somebody.
What the hell?
That officer has been fired. Good, because normally you hear about these people being put in suspension and things like that. No, he was fired.
Investigate and all of this shit.
Yeah. They thought they had the suspect. They were really, really wrong. If that guy's mom wasn't at the house, he probably would have been killed. Because he kept saying it wasn't him, but they didn't believe him. The mom was like, look at the announcement in the front yard, the graduation announcement. It says, like, whatever his real name is. I think it said, I can't find his name real quick. But it's like, it says his name. You're looking for X. Y is here. But,
God
like, few things. One, I think we all typically know that when you enter a home, you have to have a warrant of some type.
Yeah.
And second, why was this officer with a mob of people? Like, I'm just going to say it. So it sounds like it's a bunch of good old boys.
That's 100% what that was. No, I fucking guarantee it. And I did not want to turn this into a racial podcast, but man, it reminds me of the story of the dude in Georgia, and that is a fucking depressing ass story that I did not want to talk about this week.
No, we want to talk about it this week because there's a lot still coming out for that one, so I don't feel comfortable talking about that one.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's been charged with trespassing, breaking and entering, in addition to willful failure to discharge duties, which is only something officers can be charged with.
Interesting.
Which alleges a failure to uphold his duties as a sworn officer of the sheriff's office. He's been fired. It doesn't clear if he had an attorney. But, and then there's a second person arrested who was in part of that good old boys group who was also facing criminal charges with the charge being going armed to the terror of the public.
Gotcha. So basically inciting a mob.
Yep. I hope something really does happen because we can't, give us something to have faith in the criminal justice system again, right?
By the sound of it, a lot more than 2 people need to be charged for that.
Yeah. But
that's the sad part.
It depends where this town is. Like, if it's super small, I bet there's someone guarding somebody because it just tends to happen in these little towns.
Where? What state?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, it's 100. Yeah, never mind.
It's let me see, Pender County home. So it's a county. It's not even like a town or anything. About 20 miles from Wilmington, which means it's super small because I don't even recognize Wilmington. Yeah, it sounds like a lynch mob. Damn.
Yeah, that's basically what that sounds like. God damn, man, people are freaking crazy. Like this is just some absolute madness going on right now, and I want this whole world to come out better after all of this, but I'm getting more angry by the day with just all the dumb shit that people are doing. I mean, I was actually speaking to my dad this morning because he him and my mom, they moved out to California. They moved out to the beach about a year and a half ago now, I want to say. And
oh yeah, almost. It was like, yeah, you're right. Anyways, continue.
And so anyways, like I've been following stories just because it's been affecting like my work, it's been affecting them, and like they want to come visit me and my wife, and I'm not letting them. I'm telling them like, fuck no, you guys aren't coming right now because of all of this shit. Like,
Like, if you come, we won't be here.
Yeah, pretty much. And so anyways, I've been tracking like everything that's been going on in California, and then my dad sends me a picture this morning of like the beach, and he was like, yeah, the beaches are open now. I'm like, didn't they just like announce that they were closing all of the beaches again because like too many people went to them, like when they tried reopening it like a week or two ago?
Well, wasn't last night the whole like the oceans bioluminescent and the waves were like lighting up and shit?
I think so, but it turns out the area that my dad or that my parents live in, they actually had their like stay at home order, or like their beach shutdown ended last night. And so today was like the first day that they could actually go out on the beach. The requirement being that like they can't actually stand or like stay still on the beach. It's only open for people to like be active and move. Yeah, okay. You can't actually like lay out. Like if you laid out a towel and like laid out and started tanning, like they could actually fine you or even arrest you. So it's only for people to actually just continue to walk and like move.
Interesting. Okay. Well, makes sense. I like that approach to it. If you're gonna open it, do it like that.
Yeah. So hopefully it doesn't get too crazy, and get too crowded.
That is truly what I'm scared of. Is as soon as everyone opens this stuff up, everyone's gonna go out at the same time, and then we just have this second wave of things.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's going stir crazy, man.
I mean, seriously,
everyone is just going stir crazy in their homes.
I feel like our youth has helped us not miss it so much.
Right?
Because we got used to being inside all day playing video games, and we're like, oh, okay, sure, there's not much difference.
Yeah, sit at home, play video games, watch
watch
TV, watch Netflix. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to go out and talk to people anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, screw y'all.
And half the reason that I would go out for the last like year, 2 years, whatever, was to just like go to bars and just like hang out and try shit. Well, now that we're making cocktails at home all the time, I'm like, fuck, I got a full stock of everything that I want. Like all the drinks that I was going out to all these bars to make or to have, I'll just make them myself at home.
And there's like that one bar where I got a cocktail to go. I'm like, man, this is so not creative and it's not very good. And I just paid a bunch. So, like, I'd rather just kind of try to make it at home, and I feel like we're getting better at it, and we use fresher ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. So, either way, that's been our highlights for the last couple weeks. I think we're coming up right on time right around now. So, I want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, give us a follow on your favorite podcast platform. We are on Anchor, on PocketCasts, Spotify, YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. But definitely follow us on Instagram at Nobody Important Podcast. All the links will be in the description of the episode as well too. But I don't know. We're posting a lot more regularly on Instagram. Just kind of give insights into kind of just random, like you said, shenanigans that we're doing. We actually talk a lot of shit back and forth to each other through Instagram stories of like, hey, I'm doing this, and then like, haha, I'm one-upping you and doing this. So it's been fun. Felipe turned it into a competition without me actually intending it to be a competition. Then all of a sudden, bam, we're in a competition.
Hell yeah. We got to do something since we're like stuck at home. Like, who would have thought that the hobby we both pick up besides cocktail making is trying to figure out we have a green thumb.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Honestly, what the hell?
Right at the same time, too. Go figure. But the thing is, it started largely because we wanted to use that green thumb to make cocktails.
Yep. Well, and then mine started, it was like, you bought that crazy setup. I'm like, you don't need the crazy setup to grow this shit. Look. Anyways.
Valid. Cool. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay following us, stay updated for the next time we do post. And yeah, this was episode 9. Have a good day.
Later.